Good afternoon and welcome to Spielberg and to a circuit that in one form or another has held every Austrian Grand Prix in the championship except the very first back in 1964. It was at this race that John Watson lost a bet and his beard when he took Team Penske's only F1 victory in 1976. If anything, the stakes are even higher today, with 25 points available for victory and a crucial advantage in the championship fight. It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts, making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of Turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Maverick completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Sainz, Max Verstappen and Fernando Alonso, Mick Schumacher, Vettel, Ocon and George Russell, Bottas, Leclerc, Pierre Gasly and Stroll, Ricciardo, Albon, Guan Yu Zhou and Kevin Magnussen. Tsunoda, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Lando Norris starts from the back of the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And with me as usual is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Maverick. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
They've been avoiding mistakes and have had solid pace, so it's been a good season so far, but whether they can keep that up long term remains to be seen.
Right, it's time for the Austrian Grand Prix this time. Three videos within the span of 2 weeks. I think the last time I did that was when I did my F1 2012 stuff on a super bad computer. But yeah, okay, it's getting interesting. Joke, not that interesting yet. But this race was quite the banger. You get to see it, and yeah, just trying to get the tires more heated. If I get lesser than 79 or 78, something like that, then I'm gonna have a pretty bad start. So 80 is the sweet spot. I think the rears are a bit too hot, 84. But we'll see how this race will go as we get all lined up on the grid. Checo, Sainz, Verstappen, Mick Schumacher in a very good position to score more points. And now we're all aligned on the grid, ready for the start sequence as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go, and we get a very bad getaway. We're going to cover up Checo to give Carlos a good look into turn 1 as he just turns into me. There we go. We have to run wide in turn 1. Is that track limits? But yeah, we already lost over a second to Hamilton in the first corner. And I'm going to go dip to the inside to defend the outside line on Carlos Sainz. We're going to push him wide slightly, give him a nudge that I'm unhappy with what he did. And here's the onboard of Max Verstappen going to the inside of Carlos Sainz into turn 4. No DRS yet since it's only lap 1. Carlos gets a better getaway on the exit. As we're going to be blocking Verstappen. We're going to be trying to block both of them. Carlos tries to go down the inside of my Ferrari. Well, his teammate, me. And nope, it's just not able to get done on lap 1. There's no more overtaking opportunities on the rest of the circuit. Seems like Mick Schumacher was able to retain his position on the start. Cutting back to my onboard. Going, two very bad first lap. Obviously, we have to heat up the tires first. 2.6 seconds behind Hamilton. Great. The start that we wanted. We're gonna, give Carlos a bit of a nudge down into turn 1. Completely closing the door on him into turn 1. Verstappen on the attack now. Same with Fernando Alonso. He's been pretty decent in the past few races. As Max Verstappen finds the inside of Carlos Sainz, pushes him wide a bit into turn 3, my bad. Alonso actually has a good look to go on the outside of Checo Perez. it's still side by side between the Ferrari and the Red Bull driver, as Verstappen again elbows out. Not on this time, it would be very dangerous if he did. Carlos Sainz attempts to move down the inside, same with Fernando Alonso in the background, and yep, the inside line is just knotted through there. You don't gain that much speed. The car on the outside will carry more speed onto the exit. And now going on to lap 3, just fast forwarding a bit, Carlos Sainz, another opportunity to get Verstappen. Very, very close this time with DRS. What can the Ferrari driver do? On the outside, no. Down the inside. Carlos Sainz, ooh, very close. Verstappen still keeps it. They won't have DRS going into turn. No, never mind. Carlos has it. But Verstappen had a much better exit, or he's using his battery right now. Carlos, very close. Nope. Verstappen, this time, I think he's going to concede to Carlos Sainz. Oh, remember what I said on the previous lap? That aged well. Never mind. The Carlos still carries more speed. Verstappen should have probably put his elbows out on Carlos Sainz, but I'm loving this because while they're here, they're battling. I'm just pulling away. And now Max Verstappen, what can he do on the Spaniard? You see there in the timing tower, Mick Schumacher has dropped the position. And Verstappen just can't get past Carlos for now. As we look back to the start, here's Carlos's onboard. The red lights go out. You can see I have a pretty poor getaway. We cover off Checo so we can give P3 to Carlos. But what he does, he just turns into me to turn 1. Like he didn't even bother turning the car. He just pointed it straight. And now onto the second straight, right here. You can see we move to the inside so that we can sort of push him wide, put our elbows out, get our side pods out into turn 3. And it gives Verstappen a pretty good run. And now we look at the back markers, who Lando Norris, if you remember from the previous video, he DNF'd in the sprint. He's having quite a fun time at the moment as Zhou Guanyu goes down the inside of Charles Leclerc. He's not able to get that move done. But you'll get another chance here. Charles Leclerc, no DRS to fend him off. And look at that, 3 wide. Tsunoda, Stroll, and Lando Norris. What a dive bomb going down into turn 3. And that's just pretty much giving Charles Leclerc a free pass to just pull away. As looking on his rear wing view. Now skipping to the onboard of Zhou Guanyu. He tried to switch back. It's not going to work. As Lando Norris is now 6/10 behind Charles Leclerc. So we're going to look on Lando's onboard right now. And you can see right here, he was being covered up by, I think that's Tsunoda. Gasly's a bit further ahead. And Zhou Guanyu attempts the inside of Charles Leclerc, but he made a bit of contact and he wasn't able to get that move done. As Lando Norris here, Zhou Guanyu actually locks his front right tire up. So that's probably why he was able to gain that much positions. And here's Zhou Guanyu's on board. You can see right here, going into turn 1. I think it's better to be on the outside in this corner. And right now, he's gaining a bit of time on him. DRS seems to only be so effective in some tracks, and this track is not that effective. As you can see right there, Lando Norris taking P15. And anyways, fast forwarding to lap number 8, as Lando Norris, this time on Charles Leclerc. That would have been a crash in real life. The AI are very reckless in this game. As Zhou Guanyu now goes on the outside of Lando Norris, and he's going to block his inside line as he also attempts an overtake on Charles Leclerc. Will he get it done? Now Zhou Guanyu has DRS, and yes, no, he's on the outside. I missed that. What will Leclerc do? Will Leclerc try to push him wide, get his elbows out? They're still side by side. No, Zhou Guanyu fully ahead of Charles Leclerc now. Pretty good comeback, considering he lost 2 positions in the previous lap. Now fast forwarding 8 laps, so double the laps, and this is Lewis Hamilton coming into the pit, and this is where my race changes a whole lot because I decided to stay out, and that was a very, very bad decision because we were gaining time on Lewis. We should have came in the same time as he did, because now we're just gonna lose time as he's on the fresher tire, and the tire wear I'm currently having this season is horrendous. So yeah, now on the onboard, Max Verstappen exiting the pits, Lewis Hamilton ahead. Will he lose any positions? And I'm guessing he's going to lose out to Sebastian Vettel in P9 and Alex Albon surprisingly in P10. But I think, yeah, Ricciardo and Alonso have boxed, so I think he's net position P12 as Max Verstappen goes for the inside of Sebastian Vettel's Aston Martin, but they won't have... No, Sebastian Vettel gets DRS right here. He's gonna find the outside of that Red Bull. Interesting battle right here. It's kind of like Vettel on Checo in Qatar in 2021, but Verstappen gets ahead of Seb anyways, and now this is where disaster strikes because... And oh, I crossed the right line there. That should probably be a penalty. But as you can see, Carlos Sainz decides to come in the pit same time as you. I guess that's my fault because I should have boxed the lap before. Is now we're in the pits, switching over to the hards. That could have held up Checo, but yeah, Checo came in pretty good timing, so he wasn't held up at all. As Lewis Hamilton goes, yep, and just gets past. And now Max Verstappen is the one who I'm under pressure as we lose the back end on the pit exit. And here's Max Verstappen's Red Bull just chasing down on my Scuderia Ferrari. A very bad Italian accent right there. He's now in DRS range. Yeah, we lose a lot of time going into turn 1. I think that's about 3/10 now. He gets DRS. We're usually going to use our battery to sort of fend him up, and oh, the screen went black for a second, and yep, just pushing him wide like how you do when you're defending from the car behind. And now skipping later on till in lap 18. Let's see what Verstappen can do. He's getting a tow with DRS. That could have been dangerous, and yep, ooh. Chat, is that legal? But that could have been dangerous on the main straight because when I was going to block him, just turned in on me. So yeah, if we were any closer, he would have did what Alex Albon did in Germany in 2019. But here we go. Does he have another chance? I think he's just too far, and yeah, DRS is only effective when you're like 3/2 behind the car, and if you're in a train, that's pretty much useless. But anyways, let's go further back into the pack with Carlos Sainz and Fernando Alonso. Carlos Sainz, after losing quite a bit of positions on the pit during the pit phase, as now he's trying to climb back up, as he's only 3/10 behind Fernando Alonso. And if you can see from the timing tower, Esteban Ocon and George Russell getting into a bit of a fight as well, as Carlos Sainz goes down the inside of Fernando Alonso to try and gain P5. Nope, not enough. He will have DRS though on this next straight to try and get the Alpine, as I think he backs out of it, or did Alonso just get a better exit than Carlos? Nope, Carlos Sainz not able to do anything as of right now, as we're going to fast forward until the next lap, to lap 21, or the beginning of the next lap. As Carlos Sainz, again, DRS onto the main straight, just not close enough on the main straight, but the following straight after turn 1, he should be able to get past him. As George Russell still seems he hasn't get past Esteban Ocon yet. DRS now, going into turn 3. What can the Spaniard do on the other Spaniard? Nope, nothing. Again, just not close enough, or he's just not going for it. Because he definitely would have won. If that was me, I would have definitely went on the inside. Carlos Sainz just nope, not yet. I think we're gonna have to wait one more lap. And here's George Russell and Esteban Ocon. Yep, Esteban Ocon on the inside right there. George Russell making use of the outside, carrying more speed onto the straight. As here's Carlos Sainz going down the inside of Fernando Alonso. He will have DRS to defend the position. Alonso actually locked up there if you're looking closely. As now, Carlos Sainz, ooh, if I had more damage on that would have been ugly. So yeah, Carlos Sainz now into P5. Alonso put up a pretty good fight with him. As here's the onboard view of Fernando Alonso, the two-time world champion. See, oh, I think he locked up both tires actually. So Carlos probably would have been stuck way more behind Alonso if it wasn't for the lockup. And here's him just trying one more chance around the outside, just not able to do so. And yeah, it kind of reminded me of it. Yeah, whatever, I won't get into that. But yeah, that's this sequence. And actually, no, let's check out Carlos on board in his Ferrari. There you go. Alonso just falling into the void after locking up his tires. Now here's George Russell going on the outside of Esteban Ocon. And yeah, both Alpines losing a position on the same lap. Anyways, now to the front running battle. It's me, Verstappen, and Checo Perez. And it's been like this for a few laps now, which goes to show you how ineffective DRS really is. Unless you're, example, this close to Verstappen is already just sneaking behind you, and we're alongside right now. We're gonna defend the inside line, and yep, that's very common. Just sort of give him a nudge, or shove him wide, and we actually have DRS there, so we're able to fend off that position pretty well. And here's Checo going on the outside of Max, and Max trying to take that position back from Checo Perez, and he does that pretty well. There's a bit of contact with the rear end. And here's Verstappen using the outside line to carry more speed into the following corner, which has been a trend this entire race. But yeah, Verstappen is now outside of DRS range, so we're safe for now. As now into lap 31, and it's Lewis Hamilton lapping Yuki Tsunoda. And this may seem extremely insignificant, but right now you're gonna see why Tsunoda is gonna try to unlap himself. And yeah, we built quite a big gap to Verstappen as Tsunoda goes down the inside of Lewis Hamilton. The only piece of AI aggression is when it doesn't matter. Well, it does matter to me. As you can see, we're gaining a huge chunk of time on Lewis Hamilton. Now the onboard of him, I actually really love this shoulder cam, as Yuki Tsunoda successfully unlaps himself from the Mercedes driver, which, well, that's very interesting. And Lewis can't really lap him again because there's no overtaking opportunities in this particular section of track, but he's clearly the faster driver, and he's losing a lot of time to me. As we now focus on Yuki Tsunoda, he's gonna let Lewis by around here. He's probably got a warning for that. But now, I'm Tsunoda's victim, as since he was there, I had to avoid him. I locked up and I ran wide. But I'm just getting a tow because I wouldn't be able to get past him if I didn't. And we go on the outside, and what is Bossman doing? What on earth? We rejoined the track. That's probably a dangerous rejoin. We rejoined the track. We lost the advantage we had of a huge gap to Verstappen, but now he's ahead of us. We dip to the inside. A bit of a feint right there. We were gonna put our elbows out so Yuki Tsunoda can get back past Max Verstappen. And yeah, here's Checo Perez, who has DRS on Max Verstappen. He's gonna go down the inside. Oh, a bit of contact there, a bit messy. And he's gonna have the advantage, as he's gonna have the outside line to this corner. As they're falling back to me, but I might have very minor damage on the front left end plate right there. I just don't know what Tsunoda was trying to do. As now we focus on Valtteri Bottas and Pierre Gasly, and I guess Gasly tried to go down the inside of Valtteri Bottas right there. He's going to have a pretty good run, and there's my computer just slowing down a bit. As now we're on board the Frenchman, and Sebastian Vettel in the distance, you can see spins there. Bottas locks up, and Mick Schumacher crashes to the side pod of Sebastian Vettel. So Gasly actually gains from that, as he's now in the points. And so Zhou Guanyu gets past Mick Schumacher. That could have been ugly, but that would have been a safety car in real life. But here's Sebastian Vettel's on board right now. It's right there, just losing the back end. And this is very unrealistic because you wouldn't immediately go into reverse. The car would stall. So it probably wouldn't have been as dangerous if this was in real life. And here's Alex Albon's on board. You can see right there, Gasly just trying to force a move on Bottas. Bottas actually locks up. Right there. Schumacher actually made some contact with the rear end of Gasly before crashing into Sebastian Vettel's side pod. And yeah, very interesting scenario. As you now go to the onboard of Valtteri Bottas. Locking up right there. Sebastian Vettel spins around here, and he should have just drove off, but I think he was just trying to play it safe, and he hasn't scored a point this season at all. I think, yeah, him and Alex Albon hasn't scored a single point this season, so pretty interesting to see how that will play out. And on to lap 35, here's Lando Norris trying to unlap himself from Daniel Ricciardo. Imagine getting lapped by your own teammate. Well, he's on the soft compound tires. This should be pretty straightforward. And not gonna lie, if I was McLaren, I'd probably just let them fight. And they're even lapped. But here you go. Lando Norris unlaps himself from his Australian teammate. Ricciardo will have DRS on this straight to fight though. As he goes onto the outside. Nope, can't find any room whatsoever. So, yeah, remains in P9. And Norris now unlaps himself from Ricciardo. Anyways, now onto the final lap, the lap that matters most. As yep, Checo Perez is making a last lap charge on me. DRS open. Where can he go? He finds space on the outside. Verstappen also overtakes me. He almost overtakes me. We're gonna brake super late. Just getting past Sergio Perez. Very minimal contact right there. Here's Verstappen's on board now. What can he do on me? He's actually getting really close. He's utilizing the rest of his battery. We barely have any battery left. We push him wide. Can Checo snatch that position? No. Carlos Sainz gets back in the mix. Verstappen goes on the outside. And oh, the outside not working for once. So we actually push Verstappen wide. We use our elbows, and that's track limits for me, but thank God it's a normal. And here's Lewis Hamilton now as he crosses the line to win the Austrian Grand Prix. But here's Checo Perez, one last chance for Verstappen, and no, he doesn't get it. We cross the line to finish P2.
Thank you for all your hard work out there. That was a strong drive and a great finish. Well done.
A fantastic team effort then to secure victory here in the Styrian Alps. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners. Well, that lead at the top has somewhat shrunk today. Let's see how the
Well,
drivers
so yeah,
stand
Lewis
as a
Hamilton actually
So,
performing
answer
pretty
then.
good after
Who would you
a
rank
terrible
as the driver
Canadian
of the
Grand Prix.
It's got to be
As you
Lando
can
Norris,
see
isn't
there,
it? Smooth, confident
Carlos
and assured.
Sainz won the
I've
sprint.
got no
What?
doubt that he and his team
No,
are
he
gonna
didn't.
be
Lewis
over the
Hamilton
moon with
won.
his performance today.
It's time to see how
I don't
things are
know what's
shaping
wrong
up
with
in the
this result
Constructors'
page,
Championship.
because it
No
also
change to
says
the top
Sebastian
spot there,
Vettel
but with today's
finished
points,
P7.
their hold on that
And
lead is getting weaker.
yeah, finished
An equal
P2.
parts
That's pretty
exhausted
good
and elated with this
considering where we
weekend of
were
Formula 1. So be
at the
sure
start
to
of the weekend
join
for
us for the next
P5. If I added qualifying Yeah, my qualifying was a nightmare, but Charles Leclerc, 10-second penalty for what? No, only until P15 got lapped. Yeah, that was a pretty good race. I should have boxed a lap earlier. Then I didn't. The next race is in Paul Ricard, which is a track that I'm actually pretty good at, so I'm pretty confident for that. And see you in the next video. And yeah, bye.